Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. I hope you guys are doing well, and today I'm going to be talking about the brand new acquisition by the New York Knicks that we actually got in free agency. His name is Isaiah Hartenstein. He's from the Los Angeles Clippers. He is a center. We signed him to a 2-year, $16 million contract, and I didn't watch Clippers basketball like crazy. I obviously knew of Isaiah Hartenstein. I knew a little bit. I knew he was a nice depth piece for the Clippers. He's a solid center, but I didn't really know his bag on offense. I didn't know what he really brought specifically. There's certain things that he brings that I didn't really know about a lot, and I actually like that he's bringing certain things that we don't have at the center position to the table. And a lot of us thought Jericho Sims was going to be the backup big if we didn't go on to sign someone in free agency like Andre Drummond that was out there, DeAndre Jordan, and Isaiah Hartenstein as a backup big possibility. But there was some reports that the Knicks were interested in Isaiah Hartenstein, and we actually ended up with him. Jericho Sims, I would have really liked to see what he could do at the backup big position, but we know Tom Thibodeau likes the veterans, or he likes the more seasoned players that have a higher chance of not really making a lot of mistakes, even though I feel like everyone makes mistakes in the NBA, and it's all about having short-term memory and putting those mistakes like behind you. But Isaiah Hartenstein definitely is a more seasoned NBA player. He has seen a lot more out there on the basketball floor, and Sims is still raw in a lot of departments. But after watching some film, just watching more on Isaiah Hartenstein, I actually really like what he brings to the table. Some Clippers fans were actually sad to see him go. And like I mentioned, he brings some things to the center position that we really don't have, and he got more minutes after the All-Star break. You can't really look at his numbers to see the impact he puts on the game. He has a very nice skill set. Like, he's not like every center in the NBA. This isn't someone that just thrives in the dunker spot. We're going to be getting into his stats and all that, but just one stat I wanted to bring up. Everyone just might think 62% from the field, he's just dunking, he's just in the dunker spot. But if you look at his offensive versatility, he actually brings a lot to the table. Or if you just look at his offensive skill set, he shot over 50% on floaters around the basket. Against certain personnel, he knows when to put up a floater. Not every center puts up a floater. A lot of them just try to yam it on someone or throw up a baby hook. But he does have a nice little floater in his bag, nice little push shot, and he has a hook shot in his bag as well. That's something Mitchell Robinson doesn't bring to the table. He doesn't have like a floater, he doesn't have a hook shot, and I would like to see Mitchell Robinson's touch around the basket. If we bring him back, that's something that I would like to see Mitchell Robinson work on. Obviously, the rumors of $60 million contract, but we have not signed him or re-signed him when I'm filming this video, so maybe he is re-signed when I'm filming this video, who knows. But he brings an offensive versatility, which I do like. He can thrive in the dunker spot. He's athletic, but he's not athletic like Mitchell Robinson. He's not some rim runner, but he knows how to roll to the basket very well, and he can catch alley-oops and throw it down. But what I like on missed shots, if it's his teams on putbacks, he doesn't always look to dunk it. He actually has a very soft touch, just using his hands. Like, he is just a feathery, soft touch around the basket. He just doesn't put too much on it. I just love the way his ability to use his hands around the basket. So I think he brings a lot to the table when it comes to his offensive skill set. But maybe if you don't watch a lot of Clippers basketball like me, and then you watch the film, Isaiah Hartenstein has a very good feel for the game. He isn't like a Nikola Jokic. He's not going to be dribbling the ball up, handling the rock and all that. But he could actually make very solid reads out there on the floor. He recognizes when someone's cutting. He recognizes when he's in the inside, the defense is collapsing, kicks it outside of the perimeter. He can make basic reads, but also some pretty like above average reads. Like, he's an above average playmaker, or he's above average vision for someone that is at the center position, which I really do like. And he was actually one of the best rim protectors in the league this season based off of some metrics or some stats. He only averaged 17 minutes per game, but he averaged a little over 1 block. And he's pretty good discipline on that side of the ball. So we're going to be getting into his stats, but yeah, he didn't play a lot. He doesn't have the most eye-popping stats. He's constantly fighting out there on the floor. He plays with extremely high motor. This dude fights, runs for rebounds, like getting more into his passing. When he snags a rebound, he notices someone's leaking out. He loves getting his teammates involved. He's all about winning. He's all about his team, which I love. We want not just solid basketball players or good basketball players. We want guys that are high-character individuals that care about the team. And yes, he didn't get a lot of minutes, 17 minutes per game. We're going to be getting into those stats. But shout out to my man, Devastating Buckets. He made a very good point here, or very nice stats here. He actually put on his Twitter. Make sure you follow him on Twitter, Devastating Buckets. So Isaiah Hartenstein in the 2021-22 season, his per 75 possessions, 17 points per game, 10.1 rebounds, 4.8 assists, 2.3 blocks, 1.5 steals. And then he had a true shooting percentage of 66.4, which is 9.8% higher than the league average. And he's pretty much saying he should have gotten way more minutes. But just when you talk about when I mention his hustle, I don't know, I would get excited about something like that. I love players that hustle, always play their ass off. He has the ability to pass the rock, which we don't really have at the big man position, at the center position, so he brings a level of versatility, a hook shot, just a more unpredictability when it comes to the center position. I'm not sure how many minutes Tibbs is going to give him as the backup big, but I personally do like that. And he's someone that's also not really afraid to take the three ball, getting back into his offensive game a little bit. He only attempted 0.4 threes per game. A lot of them were in garbage time. When I went back, watched his made threes in the 2021 to 22 season, but there's moments as well when he's wide open. He's not afraid to take them. He's a lefty. He doesn't have a ugly looking stroke. He shot nearly 70% from the free throw line, 68%, I believe, to be specific. But when he was coming out, when it came to the draft, actually, a lot of people were talking about his potential as a pick and pop guy. Maybe the Knicks could open that up or really get him to shoot like 2 threes per game, which I think would be huge for the offense. So the offense isn't, or the drivers, like the paint isn't as clogged. It could open up a lot more. Maybe Thibodeau, Johnny Bryant, guys on the coaching staff, just Greer can get him to shoot like 1 to 2 threes per game. He attempted 0.4, so why not get that up to 1 if he's completely wide open? I'm not asking him to take some contested, really deep threes from beyond the arc, but he's not afraid to take threes at times as well, which I really like that he brings to the offense. Good thing I didn't forget that there. That would have been a Noah moment. But in 17.9 minutes per game, again, didn't get a lot of minutes, got more minutes after the All-Star break. He averaged 8.3 points, 62.6% from the field. He shot 46.7% from 3, wasn't on a lot of attempts, but obviously on that very small sample size, I guess he shot it pretty well from 3. 4.9 rebounds, 2.4 assists. Like 17, when you think about 17 minutes per game for a center, and 2.4 assists is actually pretty impressive in my opinion. 0.7 steals, 1 block. So he's active in a bunch of ways defensively. He doesn't move his feet crazy well defensively, but he knows when to be disciplined. He can block shots, play straight hands up fundamental defense. We're getting a very quality player with just a high motor, high character individual. I like what he brings to the table. Let me know down below your thoughts on Isaiah Hartenstein, and peace out, y'all.